Hi, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to show you how to make homemade Girl Scout cookie Thin Mints. Girl Scout cookies are super popular but are only available for a limited time during the year, so it's great to make them at home and they taste way better than the original. I will be posting some more Girl Scout cookie flavors in some upcoming videos, so stay tuned for those. Let's get started. To make the cookie dough, I'm choosing to double this recipe since these are so popular. I know a lot of people are going to love them. One recipe will make around 100 cookies. It can be more or less depending on the size of the cookies and the thickness of the dough. To make the dough, in the bowl of a stand mixer, or you can use an electric hand mixer if you don't have a stand mixer, add in the softened butter. Beat it for a minute until smooth. Then add in the sugar and cream it on medium to high speed for a minute. Then add in the egg, vanilla extract, and peppermint extract, and beat them in until well combined. Then in a separate medium bowl, add in the flour, cocoa powder. I'm using Dutch processed for a rich dark chocolate flavor, baking powder, and salt, and whisk them until combined. Add the dry ingredients into the wet ingredients, and mix on low speed until combined into a cookie dough. And mix it by hand to make sure all the ingredients are evenly mixed together. Wrap the dough in plastic wrap. Flatten it into a disc. And refrigerate it for at least an hour until chilled and firm. You can even chill it overnight if you have time. Remove it from the fridge and let it sit at room temperature for at least a half an hour to let it soften a little for rolling. And preheat the oven to 350 degrees. Once the dough is a little softer, cut it in half, or because I made double the recipe, I'm cutting it into quarters. Wrap up the dough you're not using and set it aside. Don't put it in the fridge. Place one portion onto a sheet of parchment paper. Place another sheet on top of the dough. I'm adding 2 wooden rulers on each side of the dough to get an even thickness. And roll out the dough until it's about 1/4 to 1/8 of an inch thick. Then use a round cookie cutter about 1½ inches in diameter to cut out all the cookies. This dough isn't too sticky, but if the dough is sticking, either place the rolled out dough into the fridge to get it cold again, or keep dipping the cookie cutter into flour so it doesn't stick to the dough. Place the cookies onto an ungreased sheet pan, spacing them out at least 1 inch apart. If they're too soft, you can place them into the fridge to get firm again. Then use a toothpick to poke a bunch of holes into the cookies, just like the original Thin Mints have. And bake them in the oven for 10 to 15 minutes until cooked and slightly crisp. They will get more crispy as they cool, so try not to overbake them. When they're done, remove them from the oven and let them cool on the pan for at least 2 minutes. Then transfer them to a cooling rack and let them cool completely. Then keep going for the rest of the cookies until all the dough is used up. Or if you don't want to bake all the cookies at once because it does make a lot, you can store the leftover dough in the fridge for up to a week and bake the rest of the dough another day. Or you can roll and cut out all the dough into cookies, place them onto trays, freeze them for about 30 minutes until hard enough to hold their shape, then store them in plastic bags in the freezer for up to 4 months, and you can just pull a few out of the freezer and bake them whenever you like. Then for the chocolate coating, add the chocolate of your choice into a heat-proof bowl. I'm using half milk and half dark. Then add in some coconut oil or shortening to thin out the chocolates to get a nice thin layer of chocolate covering the cookies. If you're using coconut oil, make sure it's refined coconut oil. Don't use the unrefined or extra virgin because they have a strong coconut flavor, which will make the chocolate taste like coconut. Then heat the chocolate until it's melted. If you're using real chocolates that contains the ingredient cocoa butter, you need to temper it. It means you can only heat it to certain temperatures that will allow it to set hard while it's at room temperature. If you heat it too hot, it will take a very long time to set and it won't set hard. It will stay soft and melts easily at room temperature, especially in your hand when you hold it. I have a video showing 3 ways to temper chocolate and I'll link to it in the description box. Then to give it a mint flavor, you can add mint or peppermint extract, but I find it takes a lot of extract to make it minty enough and you can sometimes taste the alcohol from the extract. So instead, I'm using peppermint essential oil. If you choose to use essential oil, make sure you're using one that's safe to ingest, so read the label carefully. This is the one I'm using and it's perfectly safe to ingest. Then to coat the cookies in the chocolate, I find the quickest and easiest way is to just pick up each cookie, dip it halfway into the chocolate, shake off the excess, and place them onto a sheet of parchment paper and let the chocolate set. You can leave them just like that if you like, or if you want them completely covered like the original cookies, then once the chocolate is set, pick up each cookie again and dip the other side into the chocolate. Place them back onto the parchment paper and let the chocolate set. These will last in an airtight container for up to 1 week, possibly longer. Since they're covered in chocolates, they won't go stale. You can even store them in the freezer for up to 6 months. And that's how to make homemade Girl Scout cookie Thin Mints. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, give this video a like and check out my channel for many more videos and subscribe to my channel for more to come. Thanks for watching and I'll see you next time.